Hello and welcome to another Magic the Gathering unboxing. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Deck Builders Toolkit that's associated with Ravnica Allegiance. So with this toolkit, just to clarify, there's a change they made since the toolkit that was associated with the most recent core set, the 2019 core set, in that the only random component in here now is the booster packs. So everything else is fixed, and apparently the logic behind that is it allows for a better fit to the Planeswalker decks, because this is seen as an extension of the Planeswalker decks. I must admit, I'm sad to see the sort of that pool that you used to draw from. So there was about 13 archetypes and you got 4 of them. I'm sad to see that go, because that was quite interesting to see what sort of archetypes that they attributed to a particular toolkit. So now we're on to a totally fixed toolkit apart from booster packs. And we'll see what sets we get those from. There'll obviously be recent sets, hopefully ones that are still standard legal. Okay, so we have 4 15 card booster packs, 100 basic land cards, Deck Builder's Guide, 125 cards from recent sets, and a reusable card storage box. What you also tend to find is within that 125 cards, there's often cycles of things. So they'll often do a cycle of dual lands in there. So we'll see what other cycles we might have in here. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a explanation of the colours of magic, and then we have some synergies. Let's see what we've actually got in the box. So obviously this box also acts as a card storage box. Something they've been doing for quite a while as well. If you cast your mind back to the original Deck Builders Toolkit, some of the early ones, the sort of non-booster pack portion, there were no rares at all. Now what you tend to find is you get a rare for each colour. So we'll see whether they've maintained that in this one. And over here, so we've got, we're slap bang up to date, I believe. So Dominaria, core set, Guilds of Ravnica, Ravnica Allegiance. So we'll, when we get around to opening those, we'll open those in order. Somewhere in amongst all of this is the land pack. Okay, there's probably going to be a lot of multicoloured cards in here as well, seeing as the it's based around, you know, current meta. So we're obviously into multicoloured sets in the form, you know, both Ravnica and Guilds, Guilds of Ravnica and Ravnica Allegiance have the 2 colour guilds. So we'll just go through this in no particular order. If I can actually get these open. Okay. I'm having trouble today. Okay, we have Shivan Dragon, so it's 4 and 2 red, 5/5 creature dragon with flying, And single red Shivan Dragon gets +1/+0 until end of turn. We have Zera's Guardian, 4 and 2 white, 5/5 creature angel with flying and vigilance. Other creatures you control have vigilance. 4 and 2 blue Riddlemaster Sphinx, creature Sphinx. It's a 5/5 with flying. When Riddlemaster Sphinx enters the battlefield, you may return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. 4 and 2 black Gravewalker, creature bird spirit with flying, and it's a 5/5, 5 and 2 black, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And the green one is 3 and 3 green for an 8/8 creature elephant with trample, and other creatures you control have trample. And so looks like the rest of this may well be basic lands. So these are the lands from M19. And you get obviously a number of different artwork for each of the colours of mana. Oh, so a small pile of islands there. Obviously we're going to see the remainder in a moment. Then we've got this should be our guild cycle. So we've got the Gruul Guild Gates, and we're going to have a couple of these, I believe, in each of the guilds. So there we go, they've really split this up. So that's a small portion there from our 10 guilds. I think there's two of each from the 10, so there's 20 non-basic lands. And they all just, in case anybody here isn't familiar with the guilds or the guild gates, so it's a land gate, comes into play tapped, and then it taps for the relevant guild colours. In this case we've got Golgari, so that's black-green. And we have our plains. Looks like what they've done here is they've separated out the lands between the various parts of the non-land cards. So we've got Orzhov Enforcer, Death Touch and Afterlife. Dead Revels, which has Spectacle on it. Dead Weight, a couple of those. Mood Mark Painter with Undergrowth. Blade Juggler, which also has Spectacle on it. Carrion Imp. Spinal Centipede. Barrier of Bones. Moving on to black, we have Chemist's Insight with Jumpstart on it. Sinister Sabotage. Surveil 1. And now we move on to our mountains. So next pack. Trying to find a way into this pack. There we go. So we've got Truthfire Captain, which is in red white. It has Mentor on it. Boris Challenger, another card with Mentor. In blue-red we have Beacon Bolt with Jumpstart. Black-red Rakdos Firewheeler. Another blue-red Crackling Drake here. Acrobat with Spectacle. Dimir Spy Bug has Menace on it. Sunder Shaman. So we've got various cards here from the guild colours. Golgari Find Broker. Zartar Goblin. Glow Spore Shaman, and now we have a group of swamps. There's a, I think a piece of art would look particularly good foiled if you were lucky enough to pull one of those. Swamp, again. Okay, so we're moving on to some monocoloured cards here. We've got Prey Upon, Open the Gates, Siege Worm, with Convoke and Trample, Mammoth Spider, Rampaging Rendhorn. So you can see here we've got a lot of cards from the most recent sets. Territorial Boar, Iron Shell Beetle, Lava Coil, Electrostatic Field. So moving on to some red cards here. Clamour Shaman with Riot on it, Goblin Banneret, which has Mentor, and then some more of the guild gates. So there's the Dimir one, the Orzhov, yep, 2 of those, a couple of Azorius, oh, and some planes. So I suppose this is random. And now we're moving on to some mono colour cards again, white ones here. Spirit of the Spires, Ministrant of Obligation, Hazada Marshal, Luminous Bonds, Summary Judgment, Take Heart, a couple of those, Sworn Companions, Blade Instructor, Impassioned Orator, Healer's Hawk, and we have our forests. And probably this is it for this pack. So moving on to our Frilled Mystic pack. Somewhere there's a... They put like a little nick in these, so that's how you're supposed to get it open, but it's difficult to find that, where that little cut is. Okay, so Frilled Mystic, 2 green, 2 blue, with flash on it. Shark to Crab, Fish, Octopus, Crab, World Soul Colossus, Conclave Cavalier, House Guild Mage, Sphinx of New Prov, Senate Guild Mage, Imperious Oligarch, Sky Knight Legionnaire, Goblin Electromancer, Savage Smash, and we have a Simic Locket. So we're moving on to some artifacts now, and we have the Cycle of Lockets. So these, if you've not seen them before, they they're 3 to cast, and you tap them to generate one of 2 types of mana based on obviously the guild they're attributed to. So with the Simic it's green or blue, with the Selesnya it's green or white, and so on. But also each one of them has an additional ability where for 4 of hybrid mana on those particular guild colours you can sacrifice it and draw 2 cards. So it's interesting to see, we're starting to see mana rocks now, artifacts that generate mana, which around 3 casting costs. They tap for the colours, and then they have some ability on them, which means that if you no longer need the mana generating ability, you get something useful. In this case, you get card draw. There's obviously going to be some more of those. We've got some more guild gates here. And another pack of, another section should I say, of basic lands, rest of the islands, rest of the plains. I think there's always a debate in the comments section. I agree with several people that I always think that maybe with the dual lands they would be better off eating into the basic land proportion rather than actually eating into the the rest of the card pool, if you like, so you actually get more non-lands. Skewer the critics, which is spectacle, maximize velocity, burn bright, rubble belt recluse, goblin gathering, a couple of those, actually more than a couple of those, but, fire urchin, whispering snitch, price of fame, which has surveilled 2 on it, cry of the carnarium. So you notice as well with the mono-coloured cards here, where they're from the recent Ravnica sets, they're going to have the guild watermark on them to indicate that that's a card that's closely allied with that particular guild. And again, that just helps, if you're with various things. It's useful in drafting if you are opening these from packs. It's useful if you're just building generally, gives you some idea of what might work better in certain colour combinations. And then we've got the mountains. And the rest of the swamps. And our final non-random pack before we move on to our boosters. Oops. Once again, it's proving difficult to get into. Okay. Growth spiral, rhizome lurcher, rosemane centaur, law mage's binding, footlight fiend, a whisper agent, circuitous root, trollbred guardian, which has adapted 2 on that, and the Simic watermark, district guide, Golgari raiders, prey upon, murmuring mystic, Terramander, that's a silent P, in which case it's just Terramander, prying eyes, quench, a couple of those, Arrestor's admonition, shimmer of possibility, watcher in the mist, leapfrog, fairy duelist, conclave tribunal, some more swamps, so we may well have the rest of our lands here. One can never have too much land. Oh, and the rest of our lockets. Or some of the rest of our lockets. Pitiless Pontiff. Mortify, we've got in here. Some more guild gates. And some more forests. This is a truly random, non-random section. And finally, a couple of mountains. Okay, so that's interesting to see that. There's a whole ton of different things going on there. Maybe too much. It's difficult to know if I'm going to get around to it because there's some other stuff I want to open in the coming weeks. But sometimes with this, I don't do it every single time. I do try and build a deck from this. I'm looking at this going, well, you know, you've got like multiple guilds here. You might, you know, you might get something in 2 colours. That's cool. I would think that maybe there's a good chance that you end up with a 3-colour build, although you do have the dual lands to deal with any mana fixing. But yeah, you can certainly see where they're going with this, and they're obviously trying to provide a next level to the Planeswalker decks. Okay, so let's get on to our booster packs, probably the bit that people often are most interested in, because this is the random element. In terms of what we're going to get in the packs. Okay, so we have Gitu Chronicler, Arcane Flight, because of course this was a set that had a legendary in every pack, Charge, Gift of Growth, Caligo Skin Witch, Primordial Worm, Skittering Surveyor, Aven Sentry, Cabal Evangel, Cloud Reader Sphinx, Knight of Grace, Hexproof from Black, that had on it, Thorn Elemental, so we're moving on to our uncommons here, and our rare is Josu Ves, Leash Knight, 2 black, 4/5 legendary creature, zombie knight with kicker 5 and a black. So you may pay an additional 5 and a black as you cast this spell. It has menace on it. When Josu Ves, Leash Knight enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, create 8 2/2 black zombie knight creature tokens with menace. Well at home in zombie tribal there. And, oh, another rare. So we have Titania Ship's Caretaker, 3 red-white, legendary creature, Angel Artificer, flying and first strike. Whenever an aura or equipment you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you may return that card to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. That's 3/3. And we have an island. And we've got our Core Set 2019 pack. So first card is a Frilled Sea Serpent. We have Trumpet Blast, Trusty Pack Beast, Omen Speaker, Duress is in here, the core set, Plummet, Crash Through, Sky March Bloodletter, Explosive Apparatus, Cavalry Drill Master, Blanchwood Armour, Novice Knight, so moving on to uncommons, Psychic Symbiont, and our rare is Spit Flame, 2 and a red, instant. Spit Flame deals 4 damage to target creature. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay red. If you do, return Spit Flame from your graveyard to your hand. So this is our Dragon Tribal pack, forest, and a dragon token. There we go. Definitely leaning us towards Dragon Tribal. Okay, so moving on to Guilds of Ravnica. Take Heart, Dimir Informant, Rubble Belt Boar, Cruel Foragers, Moodmark Painter, Undercity Uprising, Parhelion Patrol. We've got a Boros Locket to go with our other lockets. Siege Worm, Demotion. Moving on to our uncommons in this section. Silent Dart, Glowspore Shaman, and awesome, in our rare slot we have a Chromatic Lantern. So 3 to cast. Lands you control have tap, add 1 mana of any colour. Tap, add 1 mana of any colour. Fantastic. Always good to see a Chromatic Lantern. And we have a foil. Nice foily Selesnya Guildgate there. And you can see with these foils, one of the reasons why I just like it when we get foils in a guild set with a watermark, or any set where there's a watermark, is it really makes the watermark pop. Now of course sometimes that then makes the text unreadable, but anyway, just for the sort of artwork aesthetic and the actual layout of the card, it looks real nice on there, if that's looking good. There's a real, on this card, and you see it on others, with the foiling, the other thing you get is it often adds a real depth to the artwork, and I don't know how much you can see that with the door there. Yeah, cool. Okay, moving on. We also have another Guildgate, non-foil. Is it Guildgate? Because I think these packs had a Guildgate in the non-basic land in the land slot, and then last pack, Ravnica Allegiance. So we're doing pretty well so far. Got some interesting cards. A couple of legends in the first pack. We've got the Chromatic Lantern, Knight of Sorrows as Afterlife 1, Feral Maca, Shimmer of Possibility, Axebane Beast, Plague White. So we have a Gruul Locket, Frenzied Arins, I think that is. Arynx. An Orzhov Locket, Debtor's Transport, Skitteriel. It's a fish crab apparently. Bankrupting Blood. Moving on to our uncommons. Rumbling Ruin, a Gatebreaker Ram, and awesome, another legendary creature. So we have Zagana, Utopian Speaker, 3 green blue, legendary creature, Merfolk Wizard. It's a 4/4. When Zagana, Utopian Speaker, enters the battlefield, if you control another creature with a +1/+1 counter on it, draw a card. 4 green blue, adapt 4. If this creature has no +1/+1 counts on it, put 4 +1/+1 counts on it. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has trample. And we have a Simic Guildgate in our land slot and a Spirit Token. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with those packs. Got some interesting stuff in there. The toolkit, the toolkit's cool product. Obviously, that it fulfills a a purpose, and the purpose here is to act as a transition from Planeswalker decks. And as I said earlier, one of my favourite things to do with toolkits is using it as a card pool. So basically, you get one, someone else gets one, you crack them open, do a bit of pack wars because you've got enough basic lands in here for the packs, and then finally build a deck around the contents. And I don't know whether this move towards specifically trying to use it to tweak Planeswalker decks makes that less fun use, but anyway, it's still something I suppose you can try and see how you get on. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.